Hey folks, we are going to get to third to last, second to last. How many? I think we actually have 3 more.
Yeah, we do.
Poor Fogged has had the really long game, so
okay.
Hopefully you'll make it through. It's Power Rangers versus Alliance. This is, again, all of the matches pretty important, and deciding on how many tiebreakers, because I think there's going to be tiebreakers.
Yeah, this match is extremely important for Alliance. They need to win this to actually be able to keep their life alive in this, and this is actually really funny. It's versus Power Rangers. So last year, in the TI qualifiers, Alliance got level 1 roast by Power Rangers and got knocked out from going to TI. So now they're versus PR with further life on the line. It's just kind of not like, the word isn't irony there, but it's not one of those words. My English isn't working too well, but either way, it's still pretty funny that they're playing versus Power Rangers to save their life here.
That is actually hilarious. You're right. It is a strange twist of fate. So we're gonna see Io banned out because you're playing against Alliance. Also the Beastmaster, and Doxia Elder Titan, because we're realizing that those heroes are strong.
And this is like what PR has been opening up with almost every game. Not only just PR, I think VP has been doing this a lot as well. Just the Venge Terrorblade right off the bat. Alliance, they've been actually opting for Bulldog's Batrider a lot, and teams have been banning it quite early. It's pretty much Bulldog playing Batrider and Beastmaster almost exclusively, I want to say. Probably changed it up in the last series, but
5 seconds remaining.
Power Rangers, when we saw them yesterday, they were still going for the Terrorblade bench, sometimes the Tide as well, and they were having a bit of trouble yesterday, but today they've really pulled it back some. They are sitting at a okay 3-4, so they'll have to do what they can, and as you said, it's the Batrider coming out.
Even into the Vengeful Spirit, they don't really care. It's just pretty much what they've been comfortable with lately, and they just feel like it's their best option right here, so whatever works out for them. It's their decision to go picking the Batrider directly into the Vengeful. Either way, it can work out.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, you just have to be more careful. Maybe it's time to grab the Venge. We got bans. Do you think that Alliance will ban out the Tide or something like the Slaughter against the Venge Terrorblade already coming out for Power Rangers?
They might, but I think they'll probably be aiming their bans at Arise. That's usually what teams tend to do when they play versus Power Rangers, just because he's like that. Yeah, and like I said, right away, they ban out the Mag. No shocker there. Don't want to be dealing versus Terrorblade Magnus, even though he doesn't benefit the most from the Empower. It still is quite good, because then he can farm a lot faster without the Metamorphosis.
Gonna be also getting rid of the Ember Spirit, so doesn't want to have that nice way of getting to deal with illusions. Yeah, as you said, I'm waiting for another Magnus ban. Not Magnus, Arise ban.
Maybe
yeah, guys, chugging this Red Bull. Let me get the caffeine in.
Maybe it could be the Puck. They played it last game for Power Rangers. It's not really like a big hero to ban because it's not had great success lately, but if they are focusing on Arise, they could ban that out if they want to. Not sure if it's the greatest option though.
Yeah, Alliance starting to dip into some reserve time. It's also wondering how they're gonna draw off the rest of their lineup. Obviously, Batrider pretty flexible in the whole, you can certainly just use it to get picks around the map by time for your carry, or picks before you push. Just a lot of options. It will be the Tide ban out. So as we talked about,
good call.
Yeah, well, we've been seeing them do it all day, so
yeah.
I'm sure, and that's the other thing, I do wonder in these events, obviously, sometimes they have straight back-to-back matches, and I know for us casters it's been hard to get a handle on what has been happening in other games. I imagine for the teams, unless they have someone running it for them, they might not always have the time, unless the games go long, to find out what the draft was, exactly how the things were played.
Yeah, so they definitely have teams, people scouting out. They also have, like, a bunch of teams have like coaches now, so. Yeah. And yeah, but just, I wanted to take a glance, I look at it, and yeah, Terrorblade in the international qualifier so far has an 80% win rate with 31 picks. 7.0 kill death assist ratio.
That's
so
ridiculous.
That's actually quite absurd. That's higher than Lifestealer was at Manila. And yeah, Power Rangers is
10
seizing
seconds
the opportunity, and they do with their third, fourth bands. They prioritize heroes that can take out the
5
illusions
seconds
and deal with
remaining.
Terrorblade, and that's Timbersaw and the Ember Spirit. Not a big shocker
Reserve
seeing them
time.
ban those out, and they do grab the Earth Spirit for themselves, which is a hero that's just been, I mean, popular for a long time. He gives you a lot into your draft. Gives you stun, he gives you lockdown, he gives you silence, he gives you team fight, and he gives you roaming potential in the laning phase. So just a solid hero pick in general.
Yeah, and Power Rangers with also Venge being there as some initiation help, a little bit of not tension, what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit of the pressure relieved off of the Earth Spirit, unlike last game we saw with Fantastic Five, where it was all on that Earth Spirit.
Yeah,
Bigger
and
the business.
it's a real support hero. Like Vengeful doesn't really need items. He's just a Venge. You know, you do what you do. You don't really need anything to enhance yourself. If you get items, they're just like, nice, I have items, guys. It's luxury. But Earth Spirit's gonna be able to get his items up, and then Vengeful with Terrorblade is just such good synergy. I mean, with Vengeance Aura plus Metamorphosis is pretty absurd. And okay, this is pretty much standard Alliance stuff right here. They picked up the Rubik for EGM, and it's not the best versus all three of those heroes. You don't really have opportunities to grab incredibly good spells. The stun on Vengeful and the swap, I guess, are two of the like big most notable ones. And I mean, if you can get Sunder, of course,
10
but that
seconds
probably
remaining.
shouldn't happen.
Well, shouldn't happen, but sometimes weird
5
games
seconds remaining.
going around. We've had. I agree with you. The Rubik came out kind interestingly
time.
early here. Maybe not the best things to steal, but if it's something they're really comfortable with, I like it. And also, as a roaming hero, right? As someone who can be smoked up, help out with the Batrider pickoffs, or just maybe come and deal with someone in mid.
Yeah, and Alliance likes it a lot too. I think it's also just like a thing versus the Earth Spirit. Like if he rolls in and he's so committed, Rubik is so just incredible to just take that that mistake and make it a bigger mistake by pulling him even more out of position when he does commit if he's in an overextended position. And yeah, like we were saying, it's Alliance's like staple pick. And Power Rangers goes for the axe. So you mentioned that last game. Should the team, or which team was it that emphasized
So
on it? Was Secret that
Secret
picked
did
axe?
this. They actually ran it on Puppy, so it was the support axe, and they lost. Now, Power Rangers have a bunch of options here, right, of where they can run things. Do you expect it to actually be the offlane axe?
Yeah, more than likely this game. They've already have their two
5
supports and
seconds
Terrorblade.
remaining.
I don't think that they would put I don't think they would do something like that out of the box and put like Terrorblade mid or
Reserve
Axe mid.
time.
It's I guess a possibility, but the more obvious one is just get him an Iron Talon and he can just go to the jungle and do his own thing.
Of course, if he does go jungle while they don't have an offlaner, it will relieve some pressure on the supports of
Dire
Alliance
team
to
back.
be in that lane zoning, so maybe they'll be able to gank whatever this mid ends up being for Power Rangers better. While Alliance go with the Juggernaut. Yeah, I mean, just a solid carry. There's not too much to say about it.
Yeah, it's an Alliance draft. Like there's really not much to say about it, and also
remaining.
Juggernaut into Earth Spirit can do quite well. We commented on the last game, it's hard for the Earth
5
Spirit
seconds
to find
remaining.
role opportunities, especially in the early laning phases. But later on,
Reserve
Silence is actually
time.
quite good versus Juggernaut at the same time.
Yeah, and also it's kind of nice to have the axe call going through the spin, so
Yep.
that if you're spin TPing, you do have axe who can come in and jump there. But
Yeah, he can call through the Blade Fury, he can dunk through the Blade Fury. The one thing that, at least for me, that I see that concerns me for Juggernaut versus Terrorblade is TB illusion when he uses reflection later on, and if the game gets to that point, the Juggernaut illusion actually is one of the strongest reflection illusions that comes out, just because he crits on himself, he gets all the benefits of Jug's agility items. So that's usually something that scares me when I see Terrorblade, like to not play a Juggernaut or to not really see a Juggernaut. But either way, Alliance and
10
staple stuff,
seconds
things that they
remaining.
just really like to play, comfort.
will Juggernaut here be forced into a Battle Fury to try and deal with Terrorblade illusion?
Alliance's turn to pick.
It is definitely a possibility. I don't know how much Bloater really favors that. He's like liking the Vanguard a lot.
Yeah,
but
he goes. He's done some different things.
yeah, it's definitely a possibility. Wow. Okay, so it's S4
Giant
Batrider, and
team.
they're gonna go back for the Bulldog Bear. So now they have a dual core, and they have their pick off from the Batrider. But yeah, dual core set up for Alliance. Not gonna put all the weight on the Juggernaut versus the Terrorblade, and we'll see how Power Rangers decides to respond. Do they want to go for some
10
type of
seconds
dual
remaining.
core as well, or are they just gonna pick Arise, a
5 seconds remaining.
hero that just kind of supports and helps out the Terrorblade and engages him more into the game?
Yeah,
Reserve time.
it's nice, of course, for Power Rangers to see everything before they pick it up. Anything in particular you think that does really well against the Batrider? I know they have actually been running the D piece quite a bit on Power Rangers, but that feels really all in on the push. So.
Nyx does really well versus Bat. He helps set up for everything, but it's not great. It's not good versus Jug. It's not good versus Lone Druid at all. I'm not really too sure what else Arise likes to play. He's kind of been playing a huge abundance of heroes, and everything else that he plays is kind of just banned out. Like Dragon Knight, Mag, Puck, those are the ones that he's been playing a lot in these qualifiers.
10 seconds remaining.
It's kind of funny.
Invoker.
Okay, we'll just go with the Invoker.
So that's an old pick that he used to play a lot more. Not really seeing him have too much success on the hero. That actually kind of concerns me, them picking that up. And Batrider versus Invoker in the lane can actually be really scary for Invoker, because Invoker has like a super doo-doo turn rate. He's actually like one of the worst if you get stickied up. However, they will have the Earth Spirit to be able to help out that lane if he wants to. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit concerned with the Invoker pick, just because of how I've seen them play around it with Arise. It doesn't seem to fit their lineup all that great in comparison to the other heroes that they usually have.
Yeah, I think it's head into tiebreakers, if there are tiebreakers. Right now, it's looking like there's a good chance there will be, as this puts Alliance at 5-4, Team Empire also at 5-4. We'll have to see how the results are going for other teams, as we do have Escape playing against VP right now, which could change things up, since that could put VP at either 5-3 or 4-4. So, anyway, folks, any final thought? Not really, right?
That was, I mean, it was just kind of straightforward. Alliance did their aggro tri-lane. It worked famously, and PR's decision to just let the Axe go to the offlane and just free farm didn't really work. And I just felt like this, I mean, the Invoker didn't really have any impact. Like, usually he's able to actually rotate with the heroes that he has, but as an Invoker, you don't really rotate. You just kind of Sunstrike, and their short lane just got absolutely dominated, and the other two lanes weren't really able to even do anything. Like, Arise struggled. You see, even just looking at the tri-lane, it was 11 deaths between the three that were on PR side of the tri-lane, so
yeah,
it's just
well,
a bit too much.
That's going to be that for this game, folks. We'll take a short break and be back with the next series, which should be, oh gosh, so many games. It's looking like we have Vegas Squadron versus Escape Gaming, which of course won't be until Escape Gaming win or lose the match that they're in against VP.
Yep.
So we'll see you guys again shortly.
TwitchCon, and you are not. And that is a problem. Been a bunch of awesome panels, there's a bunch of crazy games.
We just got our TwitchCon hat signed
and we're just having a blast.
I met my favorite streamer today, and we chatted for a few minutes. It was just super fun.
There's nothing else like it. We'll see you next year.
E-Gaming Bets. We accept bets on computer games online since 2011. Referral system for regular users and the first deposit bonus. Gaming devices store and the best choice of payment systems. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, Counter-Strike and StarCraft, World of Tanks and League of Legends. EGB.com. You know for sure who's going to win.